Hello, everybody. My name is Tyler Adolfo. I hope that you are all having a marvelous day. And I'm so glad that you clicked on this video because today's topic is 10 coping mechanisms for bipolar disorder. These are 10 coping mechanisms that I use personally that help me alleviate my stressors and make my condition more manageable. But you don't have to have bipolar disorder in order to implement these coping mechanisms into your life. You could use them for any mental illness. You could use them if you're just stressed out. So don't think that this is just limited to people with bipolar disorder. But I'm so happy to have you here, and I'm so ecstatic that you clicked on this video. So why don't we just get right into it? Because bipolar disorder is a full-time job. And I know people with bipolar know exactly what I mean when I say that the amount of stress that comes with it can be so overwhelming. And I would say this stress resembles that of a full-time job, perhaps even greater than that of a full-time job. And at times it can feel like a losing battle. That's why it's so imperative that we have hobbies, that we have some kind of interests that can help diminish those feelings of stress, that can reduce those feelings of hopelessness, that give us an escape from the feelings of guilt and shame that often come after a manic episode. Starting off with our first coping mechanism, exercise. Now, this is one that I actually only recently started incorporating into my routine. I signed up for a gym membership in late December of 2023. And of course, we're now in 2024. So I've only gone to the gym about 10 times. But a little bit before that, I also started a walking regimen outside. So you don't need a gym membership in order to get this benefit. You can derive this benefit just from taking strides outside. And that's what I started off doing, is walking outside around my neighborhood. I started off with just 10 minutes, worked my way up to 30, worked my way up to an hour. And before you know it, I was at a place where I could walk to, 3 different places that are on totally opposite sides of the town, all in one walking session without feeling exhausted, which was huge for me because when I first started walking, when I was doing those 10-minute sessions, I felt so much joint pain from, the obesity that I currently have. I weigh 350 pounds the last time I weighed myself. But exercise is just so good for you. And I felt so much better since doing it, even though I've only been doing it in a limited amount, in a nominal amount, in a reasonable amount, because I'm in no rush. I'm in no hurry. But with exercise, there's a really good old saying that goes, if the effects of exercise could be prescribed in a bottle, it would be the most effective antidepressant in the world. Just let that sink in for a moment. Think about all the times you've been depressed, and think about what exercise can possibly do for you. Maybe try incorporating it into your routine, as I've done with myself. I felt so much better. I've come off of a 2-year depressive episode. I'm still in it, but it's not as severe as it was. And exercise has helped me in monumental amounts. So I would definitely give it a try if you haven't yet. Another thing that I like to do, and this doesn't matter what shape you're in, is I like to read books. And when I first got into my depressive episode, I actually stopped reading altogether because I was so depressed. And I know you're probably thinking like, well, how are you going to do something that's supposed to mitigate your depression, but if you're too depressed to do it? Well, that's the thing. It takes a great deal of resilience in order to do some of these things. For me, picking up reading again was a very hard thing to do, in part because some of the side effects that I feel from my medication, I believe, are like a loss of memory and focus to an extent. I struggle to memorize as easily as I used to. I used to like memorizing poems, and the ability to concentrate on the task at hand is something that can be difficult for me to do since starting certain medications that I've taken. But reading, to whatever extent you can do it, is beneficial for so many reasons. It offers you an escape from the chaos of the world around you. It expands your knowledge, it improves your vocabulary. There's been studies done saying that it increases empathy, and we need a world with more empathetic people in it, especially with all the mental health stigmas out there and the misunderstanding of mental health issues. Think about how much benefit it would add if more people were, excuse me, if more people had empathy. Could always use more empathy. There's no limit on that. A third coping mechanism that I use, and this is one that I've used sporadically, but that I recently started to make use of more consistently, and that is attending support groups. Whether it's NAMI, which is the National Alliance for Mental Illness, or DBSA, Depression Bipolar Support Alliance. Both these organizations in particular offer all kinds of online groups where you can meet with other people any day of the week. If it's DBSA, NAMI is Monday through Friday. But you can meet with other people and share your stories and hear other people's stories, get insight and wisdom from other people's stories, share your insight and wisdom with other people. And it's such a positive experience. It's a good reminder to know that you're not alone. And if you're like myself and you have a dual diagnosis of both a mental health condition as well as substance abuse, because I have bipolar type 1 with psychotic features, as well as alcohol use disorder, then Alcoholics Anonymous is an excellent in-person group that would also be super beneficial to attend. I've gained so much from attending those groups, and I think that it contributed a great deal to my ability to successfully quit alcohol. And I'm actually approaching the 2-year anniversary of my abstinence from alcohol. Fourth, it's actually what we're doing right now, making YouTube content. This coping mechanism is probably one of my favorite as of late. I have almost 200 videos on this channel right now. A bulk of those videos, a vast majority of those videos were uploaded during my depressive period, sporadically. I would have a month where I would upload like every day in a row for, 30 days. And then the following month I would only upload 8 times. And then I would have a 5-month period where I don't upload at all. And then followed by another period where I upload a bunch. So it hasn't been consistent for me, but that's something that I'm looking to change this year. My goal this year is to upload, I keep saying upload. My goal this year is to upload as much as possible within reason. So as long as I'm enjoying it, I'm going to keep putting out content. I have no shortage of ideas. I have an excess of ideas. There's simply not enough days in the year for me to upload a video on everything I want to talk about if I were to upload once every day. So YouTube content, it's a great way to tell your own story if you want to help somebody, if you feel like you have something to offer the world. And trust me, you do. We all do. We all deserve happiness in this world. For me, YouTube's brought me lots of happiness. Being able to communicate with other people from all around the world and having them give compliments, after I've worked hard and put out content. Nothing makes me feel better. And that feeling, that sense of accomplishment that I get when I complete a video and hit the upload button and it's successfully uploaded, it's just nothing compares to it for me personally. Another coping mechanism, and this is great for anyone who enjoys writing, is journaling. Now, I have a journal that I started in 2016. Before I was even diagnosed with bipolar, I actually started it during my high school dropout period, which lasted 2 years. And I make entries when I'm in a good mood. I make entries when I'm in a bad mood. I make entries when I'm in a neutral mood. I make entries when I accomplish something significant. I make entries when I lose at something or experience a loss. I see journaling as a way to document memories and to gain insight from the experiences that you've gone through. For me, there's nothing cooler than being able to go to a random page of my journal and go back to a random particular day and to see exactly what was going on in my mind on that day and hear the words of Tyler Adolfo from that day. That's something that's always interested me, and I'm glad that I'm able to do that and that I've kept this journal going for so long. It's spanned several notebooks now, so I plan on keeping it going until the day that I die, and hopefully I'll find somebody to give the notebooks to at some point, but there's certainly no stop sign for me when it comes to journaling. And there's just so many benefits to it. Well, putting your thoughts down on paper helps make you organized. I feel like it reduces stress to have things on paper, put things in context. Another coping mechanism, and this is one that I feel like we all do, but I think many people these days don't actually relish the experience and savor the experience, and that is watching movies. For me, watching movies is one of the most relaxing things ever. Similar to books, they offer an escape from the chaos of the world. And some of my favorite movies include Shawshank Redemption, The Count of Monte Cristo, The Godfather trilogy, A Knight's Tale, Troy, Gladiator. There's a myriad of films out there. I could keep enumerating them for you, but those are just some of my favorite films that I see myself watching over and over again. Find some films that you enjoy and watch them over and over again. You get something new out of them every single time that you see them. But when you watch the movie, don't be playing on your phone, or don't be doing some other task while the movie's going on. Just actually sit down and absorb the movie and let it play out. Life is a movie itself, but that's another story. But I just think it's so much better when you sit down and you actually relax and enjoy the movie. And of course, if this is optional, you don't have to, but it's even better when you could do it with somebody else as well. But not one of those people who talk their movies. If it's one of them, then you're better off on your own. This next coping mechanism is one that I've been doing for years, and that is meditation. Meditation means different things to different people, so I'll just give my definition of what meditation is. For me, meditation is a combination of mindfulness and deep breathing exercises. And the way that I practice meditation in particular is I sit with my legs crossed, which has, I'll admit, become harder to do since putting on so much weight. But I still do it, even if it's just for 3 minutes, 10 minutes. Some is better than none at all. That's the way I view meditation. But the way that I do it is, so I sit down, crisscross applesauce, and I breathe in through my nose, out through my mouth, with my eyes closed. And as thoughts come to my mind, I just acknowledge them and then move on. I don't judge my thoughts. I just acknowledge them and move on. And I'll do that for a range of time. I did it more before I got diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I did it a lot more often back then, but it's one of those things that, along with exercise, that I'm trying to pick up again. It's one of those things like reading that I'm trying to pick up again because of how much benefits I gained from it when I used to do it so often. So you should try it as well, because studies have shown that meditation reduces stress, it improves your sleep. I mean, what's the complaint about that? You definitely don't want to sleep on the importance of sleep. Next one is bonding with my cat. If anybody has pets, I think you know exactly what I mean. We love our pets. We absolutely adore our pets. I adulate my pet, okay? I have profound admiration for my cat. I have a cat named Smokey. I got him the summer before my 5th grade year of middle school. And, I'm now 26, and he is 16 years old. He'll be turning 17 in 2024. And whenever I spend time with him and, just hearing him purr, cats have these things called pheromones that they rub on you, which are supposedly very good. I just feel very in the moment and at peace with what's going on. And that's an important part of life, is being able to sit in the moment and take things one step at a time, right? There's a saying that geniuses solve things one problem at a time. They don't do more than one. And just relaxing with your pet can really help simplify things, put things in context. And that's exactly what I do with my cat. It's often a thinking session for me, is I'll relax with my cat and I'll think about things going on in my life and try to approach them with rational thoughts. So if you have any pets, definitely try it. If you don't have a pet and you live in a place where you're able to get them, definitely consider getting one. I would highly recommend it. Cats in particular are super low maintenance. I can't speak on dogs because I haven't owned one, but of course dogs are amazing too. Another coping mechanism that I use, and this goes along with the support groups I mentioned earlier, I do a lot of reading of the subreddit called Bipolar, the Bipolar subreddit. Now, Reddit is an amazing site, forums where people can share their opinions, thoughts, facts on just about anything and everything. You can find a subreddit on just about any topic that you can conjure up in your imagination. Me, I've been frequenting the bipolar subreddit because I have a diagnosis of bipolar and it's something that I struggle with. And I get the opportunity in doing so of reading other people's stories, reading about how they cope with things, reading stories of people who've overcome hardship, which are inspiring, which give me more motivation to keep going and to not give up, to never give up hope. That's important. Never give up hope. Whatever it takes for you to do that, do it. You never want to give up hope. Remember, we could always make the best of a bad situation. And I'm reminded of that when I frequent the bipolar subreddit. If you have bipolar, I would recommend checking it out yourself. There's so much valuable information on there. And last but not least, in fact, none of these were really ranked coping mechanisms, but this is one I would rank at the hierarchy, the absolute top of my list. And that is spending time with my family. Specifically, my mom. She raised me since I was a little kid, all up by herself. Because unfortunately, my father left when I was 2, and she'll forever hold a sanctuary in my heart. She raised me through the helpless years of infancy, the scarcely less dependent years of adolescence and childhood, and has continued to be an advocate and defender of myself into adulthood. And spending time with her always alleviates stress of mine. Reminds me that I'm not alone in my battles, more than just about anything else. And I realize that I'm fortunate and blessed in that regard. Not everyone has a family member they could go to for that. But I wanted to mention it in case there's someone who does have a family member like that, but maybe it's important we don't take them for granted. That's all. So those are 10 coping mechanisms that I use to cope with my bipolar disorder. I hope that you all found this video helpful. Thank you all for stopping by. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. And everyone, please hit the like button so that more people can see this video. If you enjoyed the video, of course, leave a like. If not, that's okay. I appreciate you watching anyways. But that's it for today. Plenty of more content coming on the channel. So if you're interested and you're entertained and you feel like you're being informed, please hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate you. We just hit 300 subscribers. So proud with how the channel's been doing lately. And it is my intention to keep that momentum going and keep building on it. You, of course, provide the foundation, and I'll keep building on it. I appreciate all of you. I hope you all have a most marvelous day.